We're going to talk about the 10 ways to kickstart your food truck. So how I'm going to do this today, I'm going to spend 30 minutes talking, chatting. Please stop me. Any questions? I'm very high energy. I move around. Stop me. In the last 15 minutes, I want you to ask all the questions you can, okay? The first thing, you see number one here. The very first thing, this is the biggest common mistake I see. I have a client. I'm waiting on her to get here. She's from New York. She should be in here in the next 5 minutes. I see clients literally come up to me after they've purchased their truck. That's a big no. And I'm going to go into why, okay? So I literally put this together. This is on my website. You can download this. I'll give my website at the end, but you can download this for free on the site. But the very first thing to kickstart your food truck, the first thing I want you to do is to find, you got 2 food truck owners in here. I want you to find a food truck owner where you can say, hey, I want to volunteer. You don't even want to get paid, right? I want to volunteer to see if I actually want to own a food truck. I'm going to tell you why. Houstonians, anybody from Texas, keep your hands down. Anybody not from Texas in the room? All right, where you got? Give me some, just shout out some cities for me. Chicago. Awesome. Washington, D.C. Awesome, I just left there. Where else? Alabama. Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay, I just left Kansas too. Okay, hey. All right, so listen. Southern states, I heard some Texas. I was just in D.C., it was warm. I heard Alabama, I heard Mississippi. You need to go to work on a food truck because when it's 100 degrees outside in the summer, I promise you on the truck, depending on what you're serving, if you have, you have 4 or 5 fryers, it is an easy 115 and 120 on your truck. So the reason I encourage people, that's just one reason, to go, you want to be realistic with yourself. Do I really want to do this? Do I really want to spend my summers sweating bullets, serving people food? If you can handle it, yes. But I'd rather you find that out now than later. We had some twin sisters in 2016 here in Houston, bought a food truck, spent $110,000 for a food truck. You guys better not ever spend $110,000 on a food truck. But anyway, they did that only to last 2 months. They could not bear the heat. This is why I say do that first. Also, you want to also volunteer on there because you want to know you want to see the operation side of it. Everybody thinks I have chefs, restaurant owners. It's a different ball game. You're coming from this huge kitchen space to now you're coming to this mini kitchen and you may have to serve 100 people today. That's like serving them out of your own home kitchen. That's challenging. That's hard. So those are some reasons why I want you to volunteer. How do you don't know a food truck owner? How do you approach them? Do you eat at food trucks now? Do you see any frequent flyer? Are you a frequent customer of any specific food truck? If so, hey, most food trucks, depending on what city and state, are very friendly. Okay, so let them know, hey, I'm interested in being in the business. Let them know you want to try it out. Some of them will vet you. They want to talk with you first. So I work with clients now and say, hey, they come to me, I want to own a truck, blah, blah, blah. They tell me all the reasons how great they can cook. I don't care about any of that at first until I can see you can actually work on a truck. Because you have great people who can sing, but that doesn't mean they're in Hollywood or anything singing, right? So that's number one. Number 2, this is my favorite. Again, I have clients. Come on in, gentlemen. Oh, no, you're fine. So number 2, this little purple sticky up here. Uh-oh. Perfect timing. Okay. Number 2, research food truck laws and ordinances in your city. Anybody besides you two, you guys can't answer any questions. Anybody know why that's important?
Laws are different.
Laws are different. But why do you want to research it before you even think about shopping? Tell me why.
It's expensive.
Say that again?
Because remodeling and changing stuff is very expensive.
Very good. What'd you say?
To be
To be
in compliance.
in compliance. All right. So true story. Client from Chicago has 2 successful restaurants in Chicago. Moved here to Houston, had a restaurant here. Decides he wants to add a food truck to his brand. Adds a food truck again. I don't know why these people call me after. They've got me. Call me before. Beautiful thing. Brand new customized truck. Me and the builder have a great relationship. Great food truck. Here's the thing though. City of Houston just changed their ordinances January 1 of last year. Okay? So he gets in, everybody knows you gotta have a 3-compartment sink, all right? 3-compartment sink that they built for him was a 10 by 10 by 10 Houston requires a 12, not 12, not 15. What do you do after you spend $65,000 on a food truck and you can't pass inspection? You can't get a permit because of your sin. What do? You either remodel, you cry, you complain to me. And look, I will tell you this: the beautiful thing about some cities, we were able to work with the city of Houston, and they did give us, they wrote us a nice little letter. I can't remember what it's called right now, but letting us know, okay, we'll pardon you this time, but don't do this in the future. Every city's not like that. Some is a city, some is a county. Literally, you can Google. Say you live in Dallas, you can literally Google Mobile Health Department Dallas. Whatever city you live in, Chicago Mobile Health Department, Mobile Food Health Department, put food in there. Mobile Food Health Department. It's gonna pop up. Look at the list of requirements. Go line by line by line. Make sure that, so this helps you when you're shopping for a truck. So say you don't want a brand new truck. You want to buy a used one. You want to save some money. Okay, awesome. But now you have your list of requirements. So now when you go, this person is saying, oh, I'm offering a great deal, $25,000, $30,000. That is a great deal, but does it actually work? Have another client story. She moved here from Alabama or Mississippi. Truck couldn't pass inspection here. I'll tell you why. You probably can't see me. Or her outlets, the conduit. Here it has to be flushed to the wall. Hers are sticking out. These are things you need to know before you purchase anything. So she didn't do any research before she moved to Houston. She just planned to bring her truck here and sell, and now she can't sell legally. And do you really want to sell illegally? No. And the reason you don't really want to sell illegally either is because one day you may want to get your inspection, and guess what happens? Now they deemed you. They've seen all the times they've given you tickets. So now they're already not friendly a lot of times. Now they're really not going to be friendly towards you. Okay? Does this make any sense? Any questions so far? I don't want to scare you guys either. Everybody's like, I just want to tell you the truth. I want to tell you what to look for. These are hiccups that I've seen over the last 11 years that I don't want you guys doing. All right. Sticky note number 3. I'm going to spend a second here. Number 3, create your menu. And particularly your signature dish. All right, so let's talk about the success rates. Now, let me be clear. There's different stories for every single people. I have food truck clients. This one dude does 100 orders on an average, I say like Wednesday through Sunday on Uber Eats. That's not everybody's food truck story, okay? So he does that. Other trucks, I have one truck, he does about $10,000 a month. He's at 2 beer gardens, and then he does lots of caterings, okay? I have another truck. She does about $12,000 a month. She's at a gas station. Okay, but she recently had the gas station saw how well she was doing, and guess what he wanted? He wanted more money. So now we're looking to find her another. These are some of the things I just want you guys to keep in your mind. I kind of got off topic, but the signature dish. All right. The most successful food trucks are known for something. Okay, it's okay to sell chicken wings. It is okay to sell salmon. It's okay to sell whatever, but you need to have your own spin on it, and it needs to be the one thing that you are really, really known for, okay? Everybody ever heard of Cousin's Maine Lobster? Yes, heard of them from Shark Tank, right? What are they known for? Lobster, all right? They have a whole franchise. This is why. Anybody have their menu already kind of sorted together? Give me some signature dish. What's your signature dish? Pizza? Okay, a specific pizza? What kind?
I call it VIP, but it's like your typical combination of pepperoni hamburger.
I love it. So you hear what let me repeat what he said. He said he calls it VIP, which you should call it on the menu too. All right, because who else is known for VIP pizza? All righty. So keep that, even though if it is your traditional pepperoni hamburger, your pepperoni sausage, your ingredients are different. It's a VIP. And that's what so you want to be known for something. It can be everybody, we're all creating the same thing, but nobody's creating it like you. Nobody has your recipe. Nobody has your flair. So please have a signature dish. That's very, very important. I'll give you a couple of examples. When I first started working with food trucks in 2013, Delish Curbside, I had never heard of poutine fries in Houston. You guys heard of poutine fries? Okay. All righty. So he put his own spin on it here in Houston. That's a Canadian dish. Nobody in Texas was talking about poutine fries. Blew up, okay? I have another client here, the Brunch Bus. He's the only brunch truck. He was the first. Now I think it's a couple more. He was the first brunch truck. So have a concept. When you have a concept, people love that and they seek you out. If you're selling what everybody else is selling, that again, that's fine, but put your spin on it. Have a unique name to it. Make something about it noteworthy that people remember you. Okay? Either that or you better have some hell of a customer service. Okay? Any other signature dishes in the room? Somebody want to share? No. Yes, sir.
Salmon cake with fire slaw.
Nobody has that. Salmon cake and fire slaw. There you go. And let me tell you how. You want to share yours? Yes.
I'm gonna do a candy truck. I'm having a cotton candy and candy truck.
Okay.
So I have like gourmet flavored cotton candy, like strawberry cheesecake, pie.
That's perfect. How many? So you see the little we see the cotton candy things that the little stands that you can bring in, but you don't see a truck. That's perfect. When you get a chance, I want you to go to my blog, and I wrote a blog post about a truck in Arizona. Mrs. Sprinkles, she took an old USPS truck. I'll show you. I'm a visual person. Let's make it real. She took an old USPS truck, guys, and because when I met her, I said, "How you have to be short? Because how do you stand on an old USPS?" And I'm tall, so this would never work for me. This is her, literally. She took this. She bought it for $18,000, revamped it, and all she sells is ice cream. And I don't mean like some nice Italian ice. She literally sells the things we grew up on: gum pops, drumsticks, and she has done so well. Now she's done so well in the last 2 years. She recently opened her own little ice cream parlor. So these are things that when you get a chance, go through. Don't have any more pictures now. Go through and read her story. Really, really good story. And the whole goal is to be inspirational. You can do whatever you want. Just have your own spin on it. Make sure you're known for something. That's the whole purpose of a signature dish. Okay, let me try to bring this back up. All right. You guys are going to have a class later on creating your signature dish. This is not my topic that I'm speaking on, but this is something I'm going to tell you guys. Listen, the biggest problem that I see with food trucks, you're cooking from something small. These two can tell you. Please do not sell more than 5 to 8 items. And they need to be 5 to 8 items that marry each other. Okay? One of my clients, Felipe has 5 food trucks now. Felipe sells the best quesadillas that I've ever had in my life, tacos, all these great things. If you look at the ingredients, they marry each other. So why do you want that? To keep your food costs down. All right? We'll talk about that. That's another class. That's not my class. But I just want to make sure when you're creating your signature dish, make sure they need to marry each other. If not, you're going to be all over the place. All right? Number 4, while you're wanting to start your food truck, so these are all the things you should be doing now before you do any shopping. Number 4, learning how to calculate food costs. So let's have a pop quiz. What should your food costs be, percentage, on a food truck? Anybody know? I heard 30. What else am I hearing?
70.
What? Start. One moment. Kevin, you're mentioning Kevin. Kevin the Hollister, no.
23%.
How much?
23.
23. What did you say earlier? Listen, okay. So I work with restaurant clients too. My restaurant clients, we do 30%. Okay. You're on a food truck. The 23 to 25, you really want to try to stay in that. You want to be profitable. Okay. So start researching now. How do I calculate food costs? It's so many different online things. Yeah, I was gonna say, and let me be clear. In that 25%, I want you to try to include your paper goods. Okay. You don't want to overspend. That's the biggest thing. I have clients now, and let me tell you what I do. I am no math whiz. When I look at my client sales reports, I look and say, let's pull it for the month. I have a client, he's actually somewhere around here today. He's kicking butt. Okay, our last meeting, he did $60,000 in 1 month. That is not typical. Okay, he's running like a restaurant. He's gonna die. Okay, so I do not recommend that. You're a food truck. He's literally operating like a restaurant. He's having a lot of success now, and so he's gonna ride it out to the end of the year, but he is paying for it. That's a lot. Please don't do that to yourselves. Okay, and then we don't really talk about employees on here, but then trying to find some staff. You too know. good luck, okay? We'll talk about that. Not good luck, but just know in today's economy, it's hard. It's challenging to find good workers. It really is. So even though you may have 8 employees like he does, they're not 8 employees who care about the brand. So now you're still involved in the day-to-day. All right. So please learn how to calculate food costs. Please, and how do you, again, the best way to keep food costs low, using ingredients that marry each other. I have a whole worksheet in the food truck. I have a food truck library that I have. Can I pull that up, Lindsay? Is it okay if I share that? I'm going to just share this. So please feel free to take a picture of this. 1 second.
Email your resources after as well.
Okay, perfect. 1 second. Okay, screw it. I'm not going to be able to find it because I have to go through 17 tabs. But I want to say this. So, for instance, I had a food truck in 2016. He was known for his brisket quesadillas. Okay. So what else did he? So now the brisket. So now what else does he have? Brisket French fries. So you want to marry. If you marry these dishes, whatever your signature is, this is why I went backwards, but this is why this is so important. Because once you have your signature, now you can create. Hey, Janice, I just talked about you.
Maybe that's why my ears.
That's why you heard me. That's one of my amazing clients. Anyway, so the reason you want to have this signature because now you know how to create the rest of your menu. Because now you can marry the dishes. Dennis, can I put you on the spot? Oh, there's another client. Hello, Miss Nakia. Dennis, can you come up here for a second? So Dennis and I had an amazing meeting. So Dennis, you walked in right. We were talking about calculating food costs. Talk about it right quick. Why? You tell your story. You tell them why about our meeting a couple months ago.
Yeah, most definitely. So we met a couple of months ago, and my track on food costs wasn't as detailed as it should have been. Misti and I sat down. We looked at every single number down to the penny. And when we calculated it, what we found was that I was running about 35 to 37% every single week in terms of food costs. So you guys know very small shops and what we do. That number was high. We're not talking labor. We're not talking other expenses. 35 to 37% in just food costs. So why? Right? The why was that I was at a brand new location that pretty much tripled my numbers from day one. So I'm running inventory trying to keep up with demand, right? What I found was that my numbers were showing me, yes, the demand is there, but you can cut back a little bit, right? You can buy a little bit more smarter and not just saying, hey, let me just go buy the store because I don't know what's going to happen, right? And I think that's what a lot of us do when we first get into it and we're like, I don't want to run out. It's okay, right?
It's okay to run out.
It's okay to run out because as you think about that demand, they're going to want to come back for that product that you happen to not have on Monday, but you got it again on Wednesday. So that was the mentality that Misti allowed me to kind of start seeing from another perspective that like, hey, Dennis, it is okay to run out, but make sure you're still keeping up with your day-to-day demand. So now that I look at those numbers, we're now running 24, 25%.
High five. Good job.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
We definitely brought it down. And I'll tell you the other why to that, right? How's that number come down? One, I got smarter and more intentional on my inventory, started leaning more on my team on what do we need versus just going in the store, I think I have, right? Mm-hmm. So going into the store with that inventory sheet, making sure that I'm down to the T. But as a result of that inventory, food cost has also now went up. I own a chicken truck. I don't know if any of you guys buy chicken, but I will tell you this, the same case of wings that I paid $88 for almost a year ago today,
110.
I now paid 132 days ago.
Woo, I thought it was 110. Wow, okay, so it went up that much.
132 days ago. So with that being said, I am not buying as much because I'm making sure that I'm actually selling out of the inventory that I have. So hopefully that kind of helps bring some things into perspective. Yes, you can bring your food costs down. A lot of factors play into that. But the number one thing for me was to be intentional about my numbers, start using an inventory sheet when I went to go shop, mm-hmm. and making sure that I'm looking at what are my sales throughout the week,
yes, compared
to the weekend to know how to shop.
There, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. I'm not going to get on that because that's not my topic. Thank you, Dennis. And great job on lowering their food costs. I thought I was going to beat him in our meeting a couple months ago. So another good thing that Dennis brought up too. Guys, think about it. Before you go grocery shopping at home, what do? you look at what you have. It's the same concept. This keeps you from overbuying. So literally make this as simple as possible. Like he just said, he's using an inventory sheet. Number 5, perfecting your serve times. All right. Those salmon cakes with slaw, how long is that going to take you to get push out? Are you sure? Because you just gave me a guess. Anybody? Okay, so this is something else I want you practicing. All right, you need to know, even though you're not fast food, customers think you're fast food. They do not realize that this is made to order. All right, 15. They can order chicken wings. We all know it's going to take 15, 20 minutes to fry the chicken wings. They are like, where are my wings? Where? They're because they're not sitting like they're at a restaurant. They are expecting to have their food out ASAP. Average serve times, y'all gonna kick my butt when I say this, 8 to 10 minutes, right? That's easy when you only have 2, 3, 4 people in line. It's very hard, Dennis, it's very hard when you have a long line. So sometimes you'll have to pause your line. Sometimes you'll have to tell people, hey, we have like 5 orders ahead of you, it's gonna be 30 minutes, do you still wanna order? Be honest with them, let them know. At least if they're really, the last thing you want, when we were in Alaska on that food trip, listen, we didn't know what we were doing, okay? We were cooking at -14 degrees. You know how hard that is? Anyway, it's very hard. The last thing you want, you're trying to cook this food and you have a long line and now people are asking for their money back. And they will definitely do it, okay? They do it at festivals like they don't realize it's a festival and the line is going to be outdoors. So just making sure you learn how to perfect your serve times. This is practice, 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 okay? Learning what tips, what tricks. This is all about prep too. How are you prepping? All right? So if you're not prepping, if you're waiting until you're on the truck, then you're setting yourself for failure, all right? Number 6, all right. Tomorrow I'm teaching a class on unlocking $10,000 a month, all right? What we're gonna highly focus on is number 6. Secure catering gigs. You don't have your truck yet, but there's no reason you shouldn't be catering. You're gonna be catering when you have your truck, okay? That's how you're gonna get a lot of your money. Would you rather have a $2,000 catering gig, or do you prefer 20 people come to you and spend $15? Right? So you should be catering now. This is how you get your name out there. Start catering. Let people know, hey, I have a food truck coming soon. I don't care if you have no desire to buy it this year, you're going to buy it in 2 years. You start putting it out there, hey, I'm catering, food truck coming soon. Every social media post, food truck coming soon, even if you haven't started shopping. But you should be catering. Whatever that signature dish is, you want people to already know about it. All right? Does that make sense? Any questions so far? All right, y'all are getting quiet on me. I'm not hurting any feelings, am I? Oh, yes, question.
You talked about, when he talked about the rising in food costs.
Yeah.
How do you know when to increase your prices?
Ooh.
Like that's been.
Bonnie, this is not the class today, but that's a great question. You know when you can't meet demand, when you're no longer profitable, you got to get back. So that percentage that you're profitable at, you want to get back there, and that's how you know. And so what I do with some restaurant clients, instead of knocking you over the head for $2 or $3 at once, because people will notice, you take them $1 at a time. You take them $1 at a time. Dennis, have you increased your costs?
I have, and I want to add to that because this is something that worked out for me that I was really just a random idea. So when chicken wing prices went up for me, instead of raising my wing prices and being higher than my other wing competitors, I raised my tender price.
Yes.
So I went up in another area of my menu to offset the cost of what I had, and I went up on another menu item that was selling. So I did not just randomly go up on something that sat on the shelf. I went up on something that was number 2 behind wings to offset the cost of what wings had went up to.
Make sense? Awesome. Okay, so please secure catering gigs now. You're already a chef. Your business doesn't start when you start a food truck. Okay, your business starts now. Yes, sir.
My family's been catering for the last year in operation of our trade. So we were doing a food truck to we're gonna be most catering left.
Yes.
So we started an Instagram to have all of like our thing, like the trailer's ready, and we're working on it. And so I think that's a great strategy.
It's a wonderful business. So if you're catering, now your marketing's working. Okay, so you get a baby shower, you get a bridal shower, you get a Super Bowl party. It's 50 people. You should put your brand and your food in front of 50 people. And listen, I want to be very clear. So my background's marketing, corporate marketing. Still in it today. Food is the one thing you get to market to all 5 senses. All right? Don't forget that. So make sure it's always aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Make sure the smell is amazing. You gotta make sure the taste is amazing. All right, the touch, you get to market to all of that. So this is another reason you really want to focus on those catering gigs, because now you've done this one catering. Not only will you get hired for more caterings, then they're coming to your truck. Then they're seeking out your truck. Okay. And because we talked on food costs for a second, I want to go to this one really quickly one more time about creating your signature dish. Create a signature drink. It does not have to be hard. Okay. Get and call it a refresher, especially if you live in a hot state. Call it a refresher. It could be a mint lemonade. I don't care what it is. Create it in a 20 ounce cup, sell it for $4. People will buy it. Okay, this is something else you can do to offset costs. It's hot. We want something to drink. Okay, please do that. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to go and sell soda. You can literally just, what can you make? What can you create? What's a family? Listen, some of the women in here, do you guys remember baby showers back in the day when they would be like the ginger ale and the orange sherbet ice? Listen, sell it. Okay. Number 7, start creating a rainy day fund. Okay, so I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Your food truck is going to break down. Unless you have a trailer, you're going to, there you go, blow a tire. Your food truck is going to have an issue. All right? I have a client now. Talked to him yesterday. He hasn't, I said, hey, where are you going to be today? I'm going to stop by your truck. He literally says, oh, you haven't seen on Instagram the truck's been down all week. I said, oh, what's wrong? I forgot what he said the issue was. But guess what he said? I said, how are you feeling? Are you relaxing? Oh, no. I had 3 caterings. This is why you want to cater. This is why you want to cater. He didn't lose any money. Okay? So no, he want to be at the beer garden that he's supposed to be at, but he didn't lose any money. All right? So, yes.
So how is he getting the food though to the event if he doesn't have his truck?
He's using his vehicle. Yes. Use your vehicle. It's more so about where you're cooking than how you transported it. Uber Eats brings your food in their personal vehicle. No different. It's more about how you're.
So he's just preparing it in the truck.
If he,
Well, it varies, but how
it's going to vary. I was going to say, so some, depending on, so for instance, Georgia, their commissaries look a lot different than ours here in Texas. And there they have enough space, it's literally like a commercial kitchen. You can prepare there. Here we have something called, is it cottage wall? Is that the name of it? So this is why number 2 is important. You need to research the laws, okay, in your city, in your state, because they're going to vary, right? It's not a one size fits all. But yeah, that's how he's doing it, and you can do the same. It depends on how many you're cooking for, and it depends on what you're cooking. Okay.
See, like our cottage law in Alabama is for baked goods.
I was just going to say my client in Maryland versus baked goods, so she can't do anything from home. So you have to find out what it is for you. So yeah, so she can't do any of her cakes and stuff from home. So yeah. Number 8. Listen. So when I had my food truck, have you Texans ever heard of green sheet? The green sheet? So it was a guy. I used to drive by his house all the time. And that green sheet truck was out there for about 2 or 3 years. And so me being me, one day I just knocked on his door. Hey, I'd like to buy this truck from you. It was a 1988 step van. Bought it. It had nothing in it. And I had some food truck owners build it for me. But guess how many problems we had? A ton of problems. All right. So most times if you're buying a food truck in particularly, you're usually purchasing an older FedEx, UPS, some type of step van. Okay. That's what you're typically purchasing. You're not going to buy a 2024. Okay. But you want to try to get as new as you can. Okay. Very important. So sometimes watch those deals. Those people on Facebook Marketplace, those people saying, hey, I got this for $25,000. That's awesome. But what is this? Or have you put a new engine in it? I have a truck that did buy an older food truck. I have a client that did buy an older food truck, but he put a new engine in it for him. So please make sure this is going to break down. Yes, ma'am.
eBay's a good place too.
Who?
eBay.
Oh, eBay, yes. I bought a champagne bicycle off of eBay years ago. And then I did it for a little while, but I got tired and sold it. But yes, eBay is good too. Let me ask you guys, let's go back here really quickly. Would you buy a food truck or food trailer from China and have it shipped over?
No.
I see a lot of no's. Any yeses?
I haven't, but there's somebody who just got it from China.
So here's the thing. I've heard, do this first. Okay, I've heard of 2 great stories who purchased from China and got it shipped over, I've heard 10 horror stories. The horror stories have been two things. One, it got stuck in customs. And you have to spend all this money getting it out of customs. So you thought you were saving, and then you spend an extra $20,000 to get out of customs. Or two, you get it here and can't pass. All right. So that's why that's important. Number 9, let's talk about it. Finding a consistent location. All right. So again, tomorrow I'm teaching a class on about unlocking $10,000 for your truck. Listen, a consistent location will be a really, really good thing for you. All right. Dennis, who came up earlier, he's at one stop, but that's not how he started. He started somewhere, and then he kind of worked his way around until he found his home. So you will have to find your home, and even his story. If you get a chance, make sure you talk to him. His story is very interesting on how he found his home. All right. He did something that I think was very smart. You taught me something strategically. You guys familiar with the Nextdoor app? Mm-hmm. Dennis got into a new community, like with his truck, and just got on the Nextdoor app. That's how he really promoted himself. So the location that he's in, everybody's talking about him on Nextdoor. All right. So maybe social media isn't your thing. What's wrong with Nextdoor? I have a client in the Bahamas. Guess what she uses? WhatsApp. She have her members every time they come, her customers, every time they come to her truck. Hey, are you okay to get on the WhatsApp list? And once a week, she puts out, because she changes her video. This is what she's selling. Hey, I'm having a sale. Lunch plates are going to be $20. Come on by, grab your food. All right. So consistent location, how to find one. All right. So this is a touchy subject for me. I'm kind of old school. So remember, I've been doing this for 11 years. What you see now is, unfortunately, you see a lot of businesses who want to price gouge food trucks. All right. So I told you about my client who was at the gas station doing $12,000 a month. So she was the only truck there. The only rule she had was the gas station owner said you cannot sell drinks. Not a problem. All right. She didn't sell drinks. It was her first year of business. When I met her in the first 6 months, she was at 8,000. By the end of the year, she's at doing 12,000 a month. Great numbers. So he sees this, right? Because they can see who's coming to your truck. All right. He sees this. Not only does he take her, I think she's paying $750 or $850 a month. That's a great price. All right. For the amount of money she was making. All right. Not only does he take her rent from $750 to $1,000, he also brings in another truck. Oh. All right. Because now he's hungry. He's greedy. So you guys, you have to be very careful and intentional. Sometimes people see you guys as money cows. All right. I'm very passionate about food trucks. I have people call me all the time. Hey, I want to book a food truck for my event. And how much can I charge them? Ma'am, how many people are you going to have here? Like, no. So listen, I could talk about this all day, but even when people want to book you for their events, the first question you need to be asking them, number one, is this your first time having this event? The reason that question is important, they don't have any data to provide you. They're going to say, we invited 10,000 people, and you get there and it's going to be 100, and then out of 100, only 15 eat. And then they have 7 trucks. Oh, yeah, and then they charge you for it. So the first question when someone ever wants to book you for an event like that, is it your first time? And 2, if they say it is their first time, just ask them how many people have they invited. Whatever number they tell you, divide it by 2. It's the 50%. And even if they say they had 5,000 attendees, okay? Yes, divide that. Divide that by 1/3, because that's how many are going to actually eat. And then the third question you need to ask them is, how many food vendors? Listen to what I said. I didn't say food trucks. I said food vendors, because they will trick you. They will tell you, we only have 3 food trucks, and you get there and there's tents and everything else lined up, and now you're competing for that 1/3 of the audience with food, okay? If that ever happens to you, how you're going to beat your competitors is you're going to provide samples. If I ever come to any one of your trucks and I don't see samples, and you're in a large event, I'm going to fuss at you, all right? Samples are a big thing. That's how, think about it. It's the same thing, the same trip. We've gone to the mall for years. They're still doing it. Why are they still doing it? Because it works. You don't have to recreate the wheel here, all right? I want to leave these last few minutes for questions. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do suggest minimum. So great question. So she asked, do I suggest minimum? We call it food truck minimum. All right, which means it's the same thing as catering. So we call it a booking, a gig, catering. All this is interchangeable. How much are you going out for? What's the minimum amount that you go out for? You can't know this until you first know this. You don't know what your minimum is until you know your food costs. Now, but I will say this, easy for you. New food trucks, typically your minimum is typically about $500. Now, you might want to add a mileage fee if you're going really, really far. Okay? But as your brand grows and as you grow, you can increase your minimum. So I have a cookie truck in Atlanta. His minimum is $1,000 for cookies. He will not go out unless you're giving him at least $1,000. And his brand has done so well, I will be honest with you. So he started with one truck, and then he got a brick and mortar. And now the truck was so busy, he got a second truck. It's the trucks that are carrying his brick and mortar. He says it all the time. If you got a 7-year lease, he would. It's his trucks. But he lost a lot. Okay, he lost a lot to learn, okay, I can't go out for less than $1,000. So now, like for instance, the Atlanta Braves had him out at the stadium. They were doing something. He was there for 30 days at $1,000 a day selling cookies. Think about the profit margin. Yes, sir.
So how is that minimum structured? Is it like partially as a base plus the vending on top, and then after you like shows the sales?
Okay, so with the vending, so it's up to you. I'm a big believer in trying to get as many free events as you can. Okay, you do not want to be spending all of your money hoping and praying people come to your truck. That goes back to those catering gigs. But your minimum is going to be your food costs, number one, your labor costs. Okay, like you have to put up how much do you want to profit from your profit. You have to do the formula. Like it's a whole formula for this. I have a whole Food Truck University. We can talk about that later, but it's a formula for this. So you put all that in there, and this is the minimum I can go out for. But until you build your brand, don't focus on it too much.
I see. So they're paying me $1,000. It wouldn't be like, hey, like I'm going out to vend, and you're guaranteeing that I make at least.
No, they're guaranteeing that. No. Let me pull up a site. 1 second.
We did an event the other day, and there was supposed to be 2,500 people. To her point, there were about 1,000. Supposed to be 5 food trucks, one of them didn't show, fortunately. Well, these people gave away free food. They did not tell us they were giving away free food. We didn't care because we had set a high minimum. Our minimum was $1,200, so we got paid $1,200. But had we not had that minimum, it would have been.
So, sir, take a look at the screen for me really quickly. This is the client I told you, food truck. So this is his booking page. I might have missed it. Okay, here it is. So right here, Not As Famous Cookie Company requires a $700 minimum if vending. It's one that, I don't know what that probably is, Monday through Thursday. $850 minimum if vending is $1,200. Basically, this means I'm not coming out for less than $700. And that means that you're guaranteeing it. So that means you're going to pay this before I even bring my truck, before I even pull up, before I even turn the key to the ignition, you're paying this fee. Now, we do 500, give me 500, whatever, regardless, you're going to have to owe me that $700. That's what that means. That means this is the amount of money you're agreeing to pay me. And you can do some research. Just so you can Google book food truck and just see different websites, different food truck websites that come up. I have another one. This is not a client of mine. If you're in Houston, I know you've heard of the burger joint. Here's their minimum. But again, if you are a new truck, do not miss out on business because you're trying to be greedy. You need to build your brand. Okay, that's very, very important. So burger joint, they have a whole brand. All right, they're pretty popular. So they can do stuff that us peons can't do. Right? Hold on, truck. So it's probably gonna. I didn't do that. Catering. Here we go. Food truck catering. So again, we may say bookings, caterings, same words. All right. Pricing. Monday through Thursday, minimum $1,250 for 3 hours. They even tell you how long they're going to stay. Again, they can afford to say this and do this. They have several brick and mortars around town. Friday through Sunday, $1,500. Okay? And all they're selling are burgers and fries. Yes, ma'am.
And so even though you're paying the burger joint that he can come out, they're still charging catering.
No, so think of it as catering.
Okay,
It's the same thing as catering. Yeah. Bookings, caterings, gigs, we use it interchangeably, okay? Interchangeably. So it's the same thing. So just like you were doing a $1,500 catering, you're not charging the guest once you set up.
Right.
This is what the corporate client or whoever is agreeing to pay for. Any other questions? We have 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
For the getting, going all the way back to number 2 about the food truck
close. So you're saying like the 6 size in Houston is this size, is there a certain like known town regulation that pretty much has the most stingiest laws that you would, everybody has their own?
No. No, so seriously, your biggest, seriously, the biggest competitor you guys will ever have is the restaurant association. All right. So a lot of the things that you're doing is they put a lot of this into play because they see you guys as service. All right. So it's gonna change. I have a client, she's the first person to ever have a truck in her tiny town in Mississippi. They didn't even have any ordinances whatsoever. They created them together. Yeah, you run into stuff like that, and then you come to Houston. Atlanta is getting better. Atlanta used to be terrible. It was so hard to get a truck here. People would actually move to South Carolina or North Carolina to start doing business versus doing it. They're finally getting a little better. Yes, sir.
One of the things that New Jersey is doing, they submitted a bill instead of just having one blanket set of codes for a town. They're trying to do it for the entire state. So it's
interesting. That'll be amazing, and maybe the other states will soon do that as well, because that would be great.
it's like the Wild West out there right now.
Yes, our time is up. You guys take a picture of this really quickly. I'm gonna pull up this is what I encourage you to do. Go to my website. It's brandapetit.com. As soon as you go to the website, this is gonna pop up. Download 10 ways to kickstart your food truck. Okay, it's the list that we just went over. Take your time. All right, go over it. First things first, volunteer on a food truck. See if you really want to do that. See if you really want to sacrifice your little life. It is a sacrifice. And 2, seriously, wherever city or state you're in, learn what are your seasons. All right. So the season in Chicago is not going to be the season in South Dakota, right? Houston, we're doing great. And then we do it slows down typically October, November, December for a lot of trucks. So learn what your seasons are to be profitable. All right. All righty. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.